Am I live? I think I'm live. Live video starting. Okay, I'm now live. Welcome to the Flipping Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. Got a question today from Benny, and I hate the question. I really freaking can't stand it, but I'm going to answer it anyway. And he said, what would you say is better, PPC, which is pay-per-click, or direct mail? What is cheaper? What has a better outcome? Now, I'm going to explain why I hate the question, and I'm going to try and answer it, although there really is no answer. PPC is different everywhere, and direct mail is different everywhere. Also, what's cheaper to get a deal? They're both expensive, right? They're both not cheap. I would say it's very hard, right? In New York City area, spending money on PPC, and I've really only been doing it for a few months, and I think, my second deal off of it. I had spent money a long time ago with management fees. So then also that you have to ask that question. If you're paying a manager, how much are you paying a manager? But the last guy I was paying $2,000 a month just to manage it before I spent any money on Google. Now I'm self-managing it, and I don't think it's working out so great. I may have to pay a manager, but I found managers that are less than $2,000 a month. But it's a lot. It's a lot for Google to get enough data to figure out what kind of leads you want and which kinds of leads you don't. That's number one. Direct mail is also expensive because, and here's the part that people don't understand, whatever list you're mailing to, you need to mail it like 6 or 7 times, a minimum of 5 to 7 times, but for you to even know if it's working or not. Now, postage keeps going up, so I'm spending, I think, 48 cents a postcard now. I used to spend like 37 cents a postcard, and that's expensive. If you have a list of 10,000, it's going to cost you, almost $5,000 each time you mail it. You want to mail it 6 times. It's $30,000. It's a lot. Let's say mail once a month. It's $30,000 over 6 months. It's a lot. So there is no right answer. Really, what's better? Better is the marketing channel that you can stick with for 18 months, where you say, I am going to spend this amount of money every month for 18 months. Then you'll have an idea if it's good or not. Now that sucks, right? Because you could spend a shit ton of money in 18 months and nothing happens from it. And believe me, I have done it. I mean, at minimum a year, at minimum 12 months. So, and it can be all kinds of things that are wrong, right? You can send out a shitty direct mail piece, right? That's why I always use a piece directly from the mail house. I don't design my own. I use something that I believe works. Now, here's some mail, right? Sent out some black postcards. Get them returned. All right, they were different. I send out different colors each month. So the pink, yellow, whoop-de-frickin-do. And it says the same thing, and it almost doesn't matter what it says. But you could send out a shitty mail piece, right? Maybe your mail piece is the wrong phone number on it. The phone isn't ringing. So there's a million mistakes you can make in either of these. By the way, it's much easier to make a mistake in PPC, right? There's a lot of ways you can make a mistake, and Google will just gobble up your money like it's going out of style. So it's a work in progress for me. PPC, I'm far from a master at it. I'm so not a master at it that I think I'm going to pay somebody to help me run it. There is no better, right? So a couple of things about mail. Mail works. And people look at mail and go, mail, I don't even like mail. I don't deal with mail. You have to understand that our target audience, is this working? Yeah. Our target audience is usually skews older, and older people really do read their mail. That's number one. Number two is you have to send it multiple times. And I say this to people and they don't listen to me. I can't tell you how many people, and I made this mistake when I started. I bought a list, I sent it to mail, and I got 3 leads, but they all sucked. Mailing a list once is like taking your money and putting it in a shredder, literally flushing it down the toilet. You need to mail multiple times to know anything about anything. So, I would say that you can't say one is better than the other, right? I know people that started PPC and had tremendous success right away. I know people that started the direct mail and had tremendous success right away. I know people the other way who had never had success in either of those, right? I've had success with both. I think at the end, my first trip through PPC, I got a 3-to-1 return on investment. Now, some people think that sucks. I think it's fine. I mean, so if I spent, I don't know, $100,000 on it, I got $300,000 back. That's okay. And I think target ROI on most marketing should be 4-1. Now, I know guys that are getting 10-1 on PPC. I can't duplicate that. Well, listen, I hope one day I get to the point where I can. If I get 10-1 on anything, I think I'm gonna just borrow as much money as I can and throw it at it. But that's also a myth. By the way, that's a big myth, what I just said. The idea, and people, gurus tell you this, they tell you, you find out what works, what marketing channel works, and then you just throw as much money at as possible. It doesn't always work that way, right? And even within Google and PPC, if you think there's a big difference between spending $20,000 a month and $100,000 a month on search with Google, I don't think you're not going to get a 5-1 increase in your return. You're probably going to get much less than that, because there's only so much search, right? How many people are going on YouTube how many people are going on Google in your area asking, looking to buy a house? And you're competing with other people, sometimes large companies who will outbid you. So the reason why I hate the question is because there's about 100 factors that go into each of them, right? You may do direct mail. Direct mail is easier, for sure, easier, right? Because you literally call mail house, get a list, contact a mail house. I use Yellow Letter HQ, but there's a dozen mail houses out there who specialize in dealing with real estate investors. You get a postcard that works and you send it, right? And you tell them, I'm going to send this every month for 6 months. And you have to, must, without a doubt, budget for that whole thing, right? If the first mailing comes out crap, you should not continue to mail it, as long as everything's right on the mail piece, right? I once sent out a mail piece with the wrong phone number. That was a big mistake. It's easier. PPC is harder, right? And you say, oh, I'm just going to use somebody to manage it. They know what they're doing. Somebody who's even a successful manager in one area may not be successful in another area. It's not so clear. It's really not so clear. Right? The only thing I would say, so a couple of things about mail. You need a big enough list. You need a decent sample size. Like, I wouldn't mail to a list of less than 5,000. I would also, as I said, use a mail house. Oh, I gotta call this guy back. That is an important call. For PPC, I would say if you're using a manager, make sure, this is really important. I screwed this up my first time around. Make sure that you own the landing page and the Google AdWords account. My first time I did that, I did not own the landing page and the Google AdWords account. And what that means is when you part ways, you are left with nothing. No data, no AdWords, no AdWords data where Google knows what kind of things you like, no place to send leads to. Don't ever do that. Whoever you use, make sure you own the landing page and you own the AdWords account yourself. They can have access to it, but it's got to be yours. Don't ever make that mistake. I would never, ever, I don't care what kind of results a manager promised me, I would never use somebody who says, I'm going to provide the landing page and it's going to be my AdWords account. Never, ever. So that is my thought. It's not a, I don't want to say it's a bad question because technically there's no bad questions, right? But this is a question that you can't, it's like saying what's better, a Lamborghini or a Ferrari? Everybody's going to have different issues. Which Lamborghini? The lowest Lamborghini? The best Lamborghini? Which Ferrari? What are you doing with it? Are you racing it on a track? Are you driving to get groceries? Do you have a lot of potholes in your area where you're going to bump your ass on the ground because you're so low? There's all kinds of factors involved. Well, what's important to you? How much do you drive? There's a million questions. So I can't answer the question. But you did pick the two most expensive methods of getting leads, right? PPC is really expensive. You got to pay Google a lot of money for search, and direct mail is really expensive because you got to mail out a bunch of times. So it's not an easy answer. I apologize. So sorry. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, I'm getting 5 billion texts. I sent out a property before, and I'm getting so many inquiries about it. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in coaching, I don't even know where to send you anymore. I'm changing some of my URLs. So let's just say that. What else am I going to say? I'm running out of things to say. Sorry. if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any media channel, please click the thumbs up, and please keep the comments coming. This came from a comment. I don't know. I post 5 times a week. I don't always know what to say. I'll answer any question. This even had a second part, and I'm going to answer that the next video. So thank you very, very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Keep the comments coming. You can ask anything. It does not have to be about the video you're watching. I try to get the comments as quickly as I can. Thank you very much.